Josh, and welcome back to Porfection, where we will try to help you decide whether a Porsche is your perfect car. Today we are talking about allocations. So stay tuned for this one-take owner's update on the allocation process and how I ended up with two 718 Spyders. So everybody's journey in the world of Porsche allocations is different. Some people walk right into a Porsche dealership, seem to get one for MSRP and walk right back out again. Others are on a list for what seems like 10 years and they're 10 deep on the list. So I just want to tell my story and tell you what I encountered and how this unexpectedly happened that I actually got two. So in May of last year, I went to my local Porsche dealer and just happened to walk by and see a 718 Spyder. It was in silver on red, very pretty car. Silver's just not my color, even that type of Porsche silver. So I didn't know anything about the cars. I didn't know if it was a good deal. I didn't know what MSRP was, what kind of options, colors, nothing. Just saw it and was like, wow. So they did let me drive it. It was a pre-owned vehicle with, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it. Just blown away. So I really wanted one. I quickly learned that if I wasn't really excited about the one that they had there, they weren't very excited in talking to me about another one. So they basically just said, all of our allocations are for our present customers. We don't have anything else available in the near future. Thank you for coming by. So I thought, wow, okay, having not been exposed to the allocation process and you're granted an opportunity to buy a car and how all of that worked. I called about 40 dealers through the Midwest, from Salt Lake City to Oklahoma, Tennessee, back up to Indiana, Ohio. And I actually was able to get on 4 different lists. So 2 of those required a deposit, so I sent those in. One of them was just pure luck. They had 5 people ahead of me on the list and all had dropped out in the last 6 weeks. So I was actually number 1 on that list. I was number 2 on another, behind a gentleman who had already passed on an allocation the prior year. And then another number 1 and another number 2. So I felt extremely fortunate based on what a lot of the forums are saying as far as wait lists and so forth. So this was May. Nothing happened. So it gets to December and I get a call on one of them, but the car is no longer available for MSRP. So they wanted $10,000 over MSRP. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. There was a sense of panic of, hey, I might not even be able to get one, but I just wasn't willing to pay $10,000 over. So they came back with $5,000 over. And because it was close enough that it wouldn't require shipping, I thought, you know, that saves a couple $1,000. That's not too bad. So I agreed to that, sent them the remainder of a deposit. So I think that was around $3,000 or $4,000 additional dollars, something like that. And spec'd out the car. Well, a couple of weeks later, I got a call from another dealership. And this dealership was still willing to sell me one at MSRP if I bought a watch. So I was like, okay, how much is the watch? So I looked at the watch, you know, it's almost $6,000. I'm going, that's kind of ridiculous, but I was thinking, okay, 1, it was MSRP, 2, they were offering free shipping, and I figured, okay, if I spend $6,000 on a watch, maybe I can sell it for 4. That basically washes the shipping, so this is an MSRP deal then. Turned out the watch I could only get like $2,500 for it, but I didn't know that then. So I was like, okay, well, this is a good bit better deal. So I want to make sure all this is proceeding on and going through. So I waited a couple weeks, made sure all the paperwork was in order, and bought the watch, etc., sent them an additional deposit, thinking all the while that I would easily be able to get out of the first car because the order had not locked. They could still have anybody come in and spec the car as they wished. So I did call that dealership back and said, hey, what if I kind of feel like maybe passing on this deal? So they came in and said, no, basically you would forfeit your deposit. So then I'm in a situation where either I forfeit about $5,000, or the good deal car where I had already expended the money for a watch, I would be out on that one. So I was like, well, shoot, I don't want to lose money on this just because I was fortunate enough to get 2 allocations, especially as it seems like they easily sell for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 additional. So I moved forward. Part of my thought process was at that time was, maybe I could use one of these to kind of trade up and get a GT4 RS. So as things progressed and I moved forward on both, spec'd them both out, everything, I had some worries because there were a lot of delays. Of course, the shipload of Porsches sunk. We were getting late into the 22 model year run, so I didn't know if they would even be made with the Ukraine situation, energy, transportation in Germany. It was just for a while I thought, well, if I get one out of the 2, I'm going to be doing good. So kept them both running. I did call several of the dealers back who at least engaged me in conversation prior to kind of tell them about that I had a Spyder that I'd be willing to trade toward a GT4 RS. No takers. Nobody even paused in telling me no. So it looks like I'll have the 2 Spyders until I sell one of them. But I thought I would give it a try because, of course, the GT4 RS to me, just that car's on a different planet. So kind of what's going on now, I just got back from getting my 911 serviced, and they told me that Porsche sports car allocations the next 2 quarters, Porsche of North America is telling them that they can probably expect about a 75% reduction. So things aren't getting any better. I am not a flipper. I don't believe in buying cars just to flip. This was just some will crucify me in the comments, I'm sure, but this was just a series of events that unexpectedly led to this, where I was actually going to lose money because I got an allocation. So again, I decided to move forward, not even really knowing which car I would want to keep, and thus here I am. So if you're out there going for a Porsche allocation, I wish you all of the luck. You may need it. It's just kind of like winning the lottery. You just don't know when your number's going to come up. So I hope my experience is helpful to you. Remember, if you like these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of my infrequent updates. Thanks for watching.